so that we don't hate each other because we're black or white. So we say no when people are being racial and attacking people, whether it's white on black or black on white. But I noticed, I saw a couple black commentators who I know well who want to get back on the show, and they were explaining the whole depopulation agenda, which is targeting everybody. And that's really the key. And when you cut off a third of the fertilizer production in the last 3 years and food prices explode, here it hurts you or I. In the third world, it kills millions of people. And the UN goes, oh, everybody's starving. We need more money for UNICEF, when they're the ones with the lockdowns, the policies, and cutting off the energy and cutting off the fertilizer.
Zbigniew Brzezinski, who was a former advisor to President Jimmy Carter, who stated, quote, in earlier times, it was easier to control 1 million people than to physically kill 1 million people. He said, but now it is infinitely easier to kill 1 million people than it is to control, end quote. So what you're dealing with is the food, the air, the water, reproductive services, Planned Parenthood, and all these different arenas are being used to go towards an effort of getting rid of human beings, black, white, and all in between, by the billions, by a government-sponsored, pharmaceutically sponsored conspiracy. Now, a conspiracy is when two or more groups, people, or organizations come together to do something that is evil and or wicked. Conspiracy is a real thing. Conspiracy theory is when you're not sure of what is happening. That's a theory. We're dealing with conspiracy fact.
There have been all these intensifying racial attacks on white people at public events by black Americans. And the crime statistics show it. It's terrible. You're on average 15 to 1 more likely to have a violent crime committed against you if you're white by a black person than they are for you to commit a crime against them. Now, on average, black people are great. We have the statistics. They're 13% of the population. Half of those are male. And it's only a small percentage of the black males, 14 to 25 or so, 24, that commit almost all of that crime. That is almost half the violent crime in America. And then you get the Minneapolis mayor. I mean, he's going to win. And the Republicans don't even, trend, basically, saying, oh, no, the whites are vicious and evil and attacking us, and they're the #1 criminals. I mean, it's just, so I linked to Cincinnati a few days ago, a white middle-aged couple being just beaten up by a bunch of black people, just unconscious, for no reason. And it got every angle, was shot by local news, never made national news. And I posted it and said, open season on whites needs to stop. People need to speak out against this, and the left's pushing this, and corporate media, national media covers it up. And I'd say half the people said, you're being racist, you shouldn't cover this.
Damn! Woo! Woo! Oh, shit! His pants down! Oh! Oh, shit! Oh, shit! My boy Trump! Oh, woo! Damn! Wake her up. Damn. Help her up. Whoa.
Okay, well, I predicted that Jamie White was killed, and part of it was racially motivated, and it's now come out in the indictments it was. By a black man and a Hispanic man charged with capital murder. The other two juveniles, we don't know because they're juveniles. They've been charged with murder. And I just know most of white people being randomly gunned down. If black folks are robbing black folks, they shoot them sometimes too. And if the Hispanic gangs, they'll shoot people, but it's like a special thing if it's a white person, kill them. And one guy did a rap video about how he killed that white bleeper, and the other guy had Mexican flags everywhere, shooting his mouth off about white people on his Instagram and Facebook. So, and the police, talk about it being racially motivated. So, our reporter got killed. Okay, so, and look, this has been going on forever. When I grew up in Dallas, I've been targeted because I was white a lot. Most black people I knew were great. Friends with a lot of them. Football team, you name it. Great people. But, sometimes I go to their house in the black neighborhood and their mom would say, man, Alex, you probably shouldn't, pretty dangerous around here. Walking down the street, getting off the bus, but a couple black folks, hey, hi, a couple of them come out of their house, get your ass out of here, I'm going to kill your white ass. And I was just dumb enough and whatever that I was brought up to be colorblind. So I'm like, oh, this is my buddy in football. I'm going to ride home for the bus with him and stay with him this weekend. My parents were like, sure, go stay in the black neighborhood. They were always, let me have a lot of freedom. I guess that's why I grew up streetwise. But so I don't need to hear about racial attacks. I know all about it. And you know what? I'm glad they happened, actually. I'm lucky I lived, but it turned me into a tough son of a bitch. And look, everybody was tribal back then, especially in Dallas. People got, on average, not as violent. But the rednecks were plenty. It was second to the blacks. I fought a bunch of rednecks. And I was kind of a redneck too. I wore cowboy boots and stuff, but Metallica shirts though. So it was kind of the style I had. But I'm going to get to that later in the next hour. And I meant to tell the crew, just go to my post and just print me some of the comments. You can't miss them. They're just, you're racist, you're racist. And I noticed they're all whites telling me that. I noticed black folks are like, no, actually, I'm not going to go out to any urban concert because, most of blacks are nice, but there's an element super ass dangerous and I don't want to get killed. So it's funny. I got the black people on X agreeing with me going, yeah, that's not too smart. I wouldn't go down there. But nobody tells naive white people how dangerous going to a black concert in a major urban city is. Because, yeah, most of black people are real nice. There's probably, though, 10% that are basically the equivalent of like the KKK used to be to black people. So I would tell black people, in 1955, you probably don't want to go to a KKK rally. So let's just get this out in the open. If there was roving groups of white people attacking black people, I'd be just as against it. Yeah, Alex has gone full-blown white supremacist. Why not show? So you know what I'm going to do? We do have the entire scene. People didn't do anything. I can show you hours of knockout games of old white people. A lot of them dying. White people being pushed onto subways. You know what? Control yourselves, because don't give me too much. Just get me 30 examples. Just get me 30 examples of whites being executed with guns, knockout games, killed, pushed on subways. Turns out that white kid up in Dallas, or up in Fort Worth area, they said that he attacked the black young man, didn't touch him, didn't do anything, stabbed him to death. That's all come out now. Oh, we heard the white guy attacked him. It's always the same. And it's the media pushing this. No, we need to decry this. See, I'm already going there, aren't I? I'm already going there. I'm sorry. I'm coming up. I'm going to tell you right now. But since people don't like it and want me to shut up, this is a big problem. It's getting worse. I have the statistics. Get me this week. Black on white crime statistics. I already know them, but let's get them all. Let's get all the graphs. And let's just start, we'll do hours on it this week so people don't like me doing it. How's that sound? And separately, Thomas, you did a fabulous job getting me all the Ghislaine Maxwell stuff with her whole family married to Aleister Crowley priests and top devil worshippers. I don't know where that stack went. It got mixed in with Friday's stack. Find me all that again. I'm sorry. Stick it in the folder, and I will do it. I didn't do it last week. I got to do that. That's really important. Because I knew some of it, but Thomas did the deep dive. Man, he's really done a great job. And so I already read most of it. It gave me a headache. But I'm going to boil it down and do like an hour on it this week too, okay? Because my point is, people are talking about Trump flying on Epstein's airplane from New York to Palm Beach and all the rest of it. And all this recycled bull. That's okay. We're going to cover all that. Don't you worry. But we're also going to cover the WikiLeaks and John Podesta getting 7-year-olds delivered for his entertainment to the hot tub in the farmhouse. The woman will deliver the small children for your enjoyment tonight. They're well trained for your entertainment. I mean, it sounds like people are hiring strippers for a bachelor party, but it's little kids. And in the same emails, and don't worry, we'll have the Aleister Crowley priest there as well. We're going to do a Thelema ritual. So, and they've never disputed these emails. In fact, him and his brother do magazine spreads on their pedophile art. Oh yeah, it's legal to show adults screwing kids in a painting. And they torturing kids, demons drinking their blood. So, oh, don't worry, we're going to cover Trump and whatever they put out about him and Epstein. And we're also going to spend just as much time on what they call Pizzagate. That they say is debunked, but it's not. All right, let me get back to trade. I'm sorry, I'm digressing here. I have this tendency to say what's coming up and spend hours telling what's coming up, but let's continue here. Oh, yeah. We'll be hitting it all. So here's what Trump did. And between the corporate media, you hear, okay, $1.3 billion of investment, 700 and something billion in energy, 600 billion in investment. No. That's just the open, admitted first concession because Trump doesn't trust him because he tried to do deals with them before they backed out of him. This time that's not happening. President Trump just unlocked one of the biggest economies in the world. This is the third largest. The European Union is going to open its $20 trillion market and completely accept our auto and industrial standards for the first time ever, which means we can sell all our stuff. They ban all our stuff by their standards. In addition, which they then cheat on and don't follow. In addition, it will purchase $750 billion in energy from the U.S. and invest $600 billion in America. Our tariffs will be set at 15% across the board. Today is a historic day for U.S. trade and will strengthen our relationship with the European Union for decades to come. Now, why did we know Trump was going to win if they couldn't panic everybody and crash the stock market or something, which they failed to do? That was the only problem. Remember, I told you hundreds of times. Because we hold all the cards. If Canada has a multi-$100 billion trade deficit with us, we sell a couple percentage of our goods to them. They sell 90+% to us. Who holds the cards? We do. But nobody ever played it because our politicians were working with those companies and governments to do the screw jobs. And that's what happened. So this is 3 minutes and a half. POTUS announces a landmark trade deal with the European Union. I think it's the biggest deal ever made. It is incredible. And let's just add to this. Just this week, Japan, massive economy. Indonesia, huge for all of their rare earth minerals. And then they're going to buy all their raw material from us. Just like India pledged, any gold shipped into India has to be bought from us now. I mean, it's just insane how good this is. So, I mean, I got to give props to Trump. I mean, he is wrecking it when it comes to supercharging the American future. So with this, I did the numbers. It was 15 trillion and change promised investment a week ago. With 1.3, it was like 15 plus. Let's just round down. Let's say it's 16.3 trillion now promised investment, and over 5 trillion already that's been done. And then a lot of these deals are just total energy agreements that are cut and dried to buy our liquid natural gas and our oil. Remember, Biden banned that? Banned us while we're fighting Russia, basically at war with them. And the U.S. government's blowing up their Nord Stream pipeline to cut off the gas to Europe. Then, in the same month, the CIA and NATO blow up the Nord Stream pipeline. Biden's auto pen people ban us selling it to them or anybody else. I mean, you couldn't come up with a more maniacal plan to stall the world economy and hurt all the individuals, all the consumers. You're the target of the Great Reset. That's what COVID was, the lockdowns. Got it? You know what? I was going to get to this later when I get into all the race stuff, so that we don't hate each other because we're black or white. So we say no when people are being racial and attacking people, whether it's white on black or black on white. But I noticed, I saw a couple black commentators who I know well who want to get back on the show, and they were explaining the whole depopulation agenda, which is targeting everybody. And that's really the key. And when you cut off a third of the fertilizer production in the last 3 years, and food prices explode, here it hurts you or I. In the third world, it kills millions of people. And the UN goes, oh, everybody's starving. We need more money for UNICEF, when they're the ones with the lockdowns, the policies, and cutting off the energy and cutting off the fertilizer. So I've had one of these fellows on the show before. I want to get him back on, but here it is. Depopulation agenda absolutely knocks it out of the park. Here it is.
Depopulation, and what are your thoughts on that as well, Reza? Because I mean, that's been floating around. Some folks say it's rumor, some folks say it's fact.
Ooh, okay.
What's your argument on that?
Well, I'll say this. See, this is the beauty when we deal with actual facts. I'll go straight to the United States government policy. You have what's called the National Security Study Memorandum 200, also known as NSSN 200, which was authorized, written under Dr. Henry Kissinger, who was the 32nd Secretary of State under President Richard Nixon in jail for, pardon me, documentation. Now, this is all we go straight to what the U.S. government has stated. He stated, quote, depopulation should be the highest priority of U.S. foreign policy towards the third world, end quote. They literally stated in this documentation that we need to get rid of 2 to 3 billion people on planet Earth. Outside of that, you have something called Global 2000, which was also authorized under Jimmy Carter, outlining how food can be used as a weapon. Outside of that, you had someone by the name of Zbigniew Brzezinski, who was a former advisor to President Jimmy Carter, who stated, quote, in earlier times, it was easier to control 1 million people than to physically kill 1 million people. He said, but now it is infinitely easier to kill 1 million people than it is to control, end quote. So what you're dealing with is the food, the air, the water, reproductive services, Planned Parenthood, and all these different arenas are being used to go towards an effort of getting rid of human beings, black, white, and all in between, by the billions, by a government-sponsored, pharmaceutically sponsored conspiracy. Now, a conspiracy is when 2 or more groups, people, or organizations come together to do something that is evil and or wicked. Conspiracy is a real thing. Conspiracy theory is when you're not sure of what is happening. That's a theory. We're dealing with conspiracy fact, conspiracy documentation, conspiracy organized calculated schemes that are being conducted by people on high. And guess what? Again, they coming after black and white folks, and all in between. Black folks are number one. Don't ever get it twisted. We are the number one target. But at this point, they are looking at the reality that people are waking up too fast. They didn't expect us to wake up too fast, hence social media being a problem, a gift and a curse. You see what I'm saying? So now that we're waking up so quickly, they didn't expect the masses of humanity to rise up, wake up, become aware of what this government's agenda is. And because of that, now they're trying to figure out exactly how to get rid of people. They say these white folks is waking up, they're coming against us. Their government, black folks is waking up, they're coming against us. So now at this point, they're like, well, just get rid of them all.
That's actually what Brzezinski said 10 years ago at the CFR. That's Reza Islam. I want to get him back on soon. And we go 24 hours a day, no matter what happens to InfoWars. That's our plan the next 6 months to a year. I want to see if he'll do an hour-long show with us each day. And we're going 24 hours a day. That's my response to him trying to censor us and shut us down. But everything he said, I'm going to give that to Darren McBreen, one of our great researchers. We're going to take that little 3-minute clip, and we're going to add all the documentation he was talking about to it, because everything he said is true. We're going to show you the documents. but extremely smart, extremely articulate. And that's why I expose the left promoting black on white attacks, because that's meant to get us all to hate each other and come after each other. We need to know who the common enemy is. And most black folks are figuring it out. And so, but again, it's the left that's mainly pushing this, and they're the real culprits at the end of the day. So that's coming up. And I wanted to just put that out there, that when you cut off people's fertilizer, and John Kerry, the climate envoy last year, said at least 3 times I saw, we need to cut farming in half or people will starve. That's like saying we need to slit your throat or you might bleed to death. We need to pour gasoline on you and light you or you might burn to death. We need to run over you with a monster truck or you might get hurt. We want to shoot you in the head with a shotgun or you might bleed. We want to cut your arms and legs off or you might have trouble walking. I mean, this is who's attacking us with the poison in the food and the water and the poison shots and all the rest of it. That's the reality. I am cutting this announcement on the evening of July 21st, 2025. That means you've got 8 days until next Tuesday, the 29th, to take advantage of one of the biggest sales yet at thealexjonesstore.com on some of the most amazing supplements in the world. We have the very best medical grade methylene blue. You can buy 1 bottle of liquid, already discounted, get 1 absolutely free. Just go research the medical effects, the medical benefits of methylene blue, and understand we have the very best out there. USP grade, medical grade. We've given it to all our guests. They've all had amazing varying effects. I've given it to over 500 people personally. Only 3 or 4 of them have had no effect. That means your mitochondria is in great shape if you have no effect, but most of us need it. It has incredible benefits. The same is for the amazing Irish sea moss, Shilajit, and more. The sale goes until next Tuesday, the 29th of July, 2025, and it funds our operations. Get yours, and it funds the InfoWar. Right now, discounted. Buy one, get one free at thealexjonesstore.com, and I thank you for your support.